you, straight from his home in Los Angeles, California, it's the Late Night Quarantine Show with Robert Dunne. Tonight, Jack Mulcahy and musical guest from Zero to Hero, featuring the Dwayne Carlton Merit Band. I'm Mike DePen. Now here he is, Robert Dunne.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow, this is crazy. Welcome to the Late Night Quarantine. Welcome to the Late Night Quarantine Show. Starring, you see my name, it's Robert. But welcome, if you have continued to watch the show this long, I cannot thank you enough. And if this is your first time, make yourself at home. I'm not one of those weird people that make you, take off your shoes before you walk through the front door. Can I just keep them on? You can't sweep. You don't have a broom. Get the vacuum out. But whether you are new or you've seen the show before, welcome to the new channel. I made this channel as a way to, make it more difficult for people to find me. But the real reason why I made this new channel is because this one's gonna be more dedicated towards myself and a few friends that are looking just to make some fun videos for people. Just different videos and shows that hopefully you wanna watch. And hopefully we like making and wanna watch too. I don't know, hopefully it turns out all right. But we have a super exciting show for you today, one that I personally am really excited for. We have a special guest today. Lazar is here. He's also known as Jack Mulcahy. That's his other name that I think he probably goes by that name more often than Lazar. I'm just gonna call him Jack. And later in the show, we're gonna be watching a lyrical video from an amazing metal band called From Zero to Hero, so stay tuned for that. YouTube is a weird place. I was gonna start off this video in a very generic way, but man, I just can't do it. I was gonna start asking people to like and subscribe and all that stuff that you hear, and man, first of all, if I tell you to like something, how do you even know you like it when the video just started? I mean, unless you just like me and the fact that I'm on the screen, you're like, wow, that put me in a good mood. I'm gonna hit that like button. But other than that, how do you know if you like the video? You don't know what the rest is. Could be horrific stuff after this. Who knows? And if you want more, you know where the subscribe button is. You know it's right over there. It's it's around this screen somewhere. You know where it is. But what do I know? Maybe I'm new to YouTube. I mean, obviously. Have you seen my subscriber count? It's pretty bad. It's not good. Maybe I should start begging people every 3 seconds to subscribe, because that will not get annoying at all, I'm sure. This wasn't even supposed to be a segment. I just went on a rant. But hey, if complaining about subscribers is my biggest problem, then I think I'm in pretty good shape, because there are people out there who are complaining about things that are just as important. And by that, I mean not important at all.
Beautiful spring weather across the country drew stir-crazy people outside today.
Is it just me, or is she uncomfortably chipper here? Also saying how great the weather is with that graphic of coronavirus creepily sneaking its way just feels out of place to me.
Calls to reopen California are growing louder.
Open the churches, open the restaurants, free up the beach, free up the beach.
And in some places becoming violent.
Then what are you doing out here spreading the disease?
Oh!
At the state capitol on Friday, dozens of protesters were arrested after hundreds gathered, many without face masks or social distancing.
Now, I know you're feeling oppressed. This is the core definition of oppression. I know it's hard not to have your brunches, your happy hours, your haircuts, your quiet strolls to Target and Whole Foods. These are the hard parts of quarantine. It's not the lack of income or the idea that you're trying to prevent other people from getting sick in case you're sick. It's the haircuts! But it's actually pretty easy to not be a stir-crazy person. I mean, to be a helpful citizen. And it all starts with one easy task: just washing your hands. How hard is that? But it seems like some people don't know how. Children, babies, wild animals. Did I say children? But it's okay if you don't know, because we got friend of the show, Alex, here to help us out. Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Hey. How's your quarantine going?
Oh, it's good. It's good. Thanks for asking. So you plan on showing some children how to wash their hands at home? I hear it can get pretty tricky.
Yes, well, Washing your hands is a lot harder than people think, but hopefully I can make it simpler for you guys, so why don't you follow me to the sink?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So you basically want to put soap and warm water combined, and you just want to scrub as hard as you can. Some people like to do it to Happy Birthday, but I like to do it to Iron Maiden's Rhine of Ancient Mariner.
Oh, oddly specific. Isn't that song like 13 minutes long?
Oh, I don't know, but it's longer than Happy Birthday.
Okay, I guess I still like that song though, so let's hear it.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna sing it in my head.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to do the whole song. Did she still hear me? Hey, we're gonna come back to you. Yeah, we're gonna come back to you later. I don't think she can hear me. Yeah, we'll just check on her later. Well, while we wait for whatever that to end, help me welcome my very special guest. You know him as Rem Lazar, Jack Mulcahy. Is that who I think it is?
Hey, Robert. How are you?
How are you
Exotic
doing?
Vision it is.
How are you doing, Jack?
I'm well, thanks, man. How are you?
You know, I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm quarantined. I don't know, is that going on for you?
Yeah, well, it's New York, so we are like in the thick of the epicenter.
It's kind of like a worldwide thing from what I've been hearing.
That's, I think, pandemic by definition.
That's the word they've been using. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't watch the news. I don't read anything, really. So I hear things from people. But how are you handling quarantine? Are you going nuts or?
No, actually, I've been blessed with a large 4-bedroom apartment on the Upper West Side here in New York. This, where I am right now, was my old maid's room, which I turned into my office. And, you know, I'm keeping busy. And I'm also doing an awful lot of Zoom conferences because I am a representative for SAG-AFTRA. So.
Oh, yeah, because you have had an extensive acting resume.
Thank you.
On top of that, yeah, you also contribute to SAG-AFTRA and kind of represent actors in general. I just discovered myself was you were in a really popular Snickers commercial that I would see all the time.
Happy peanuts soar over chocolate-covered mountaintops and waterfalls of caramel.
I'm the Snickers guy.
I want that guy to come back. Why can't he just serenade other people in cubicles?
It's if ever there was a time for him to make a return, it would be now. Don't you think?
But he shows up and there's just no one in the office. It's just him.
No one in the office, and he's singing with a mask on. So I don't know.
Yeah, or he's doing Zoom conference meetings and he's.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Basically, when it comes down to Rem Lazar, which you've heard of, right?
Yeah, I've been reminded of it.
Okay. It was like a video from, is it 1989? Is that the
89.
correct?
1989.
So when I first heard of Rem Lazar from the channel Red Letter Media on their show Best of the Worst, and when it came out, did you notice anything? Did you notice a change immediately? Did you hear about it going viral? What was it like waking up and just realizing, whoa, this thing I did 1989 is being seen by so many people?
Well, to be specific about Red Letter Media, the first thing that I noticed was my star meter went up to like 4,000, which is the highest it's ever been. I usually hover around 20, 25,000, but the spike was just incredible. I'm like going, I don't think so many producers are looking at me right now. And then somebody sent me a link. And then I watched it, and I was howling the entire time. And you know, the drunker these guys got, the funnier it became. So
they do enjoy the alcohols. That's for sure. When you first saw that they were gonna watch it, were you thinking like, oh no, or were you thinking like, this is just crazy? Like, what was your initial like emotion knowing that so many people were gonna be watching this?
Well, prior to this, there had been, some rumblings and some, groundswell after the movie hit the internet. And, most of the comments were pretty positive, but some were pretty harsh and pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, really started to take off. And I spoke to Scott, the writer and director and creator of Creating Rem Lazar.
And the main villain of the story.
Yeah, Borak, yes. And he was a bit upset by some of the negative things that were saying about it. The pedophilia, and Rem Lazar knocked down the twin towers and everything.
Right.
All this ridiculous stuff. When really we just sought to create a really nice story for children, add some music to it, and they printed up, I think, 10,000 VHS copies, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 1989. And then there were, a couple of rumblings of friends who had children who were saying, that they bought the video and that I was now their kid's superhero and what have you. My nieces and nephews were right in that wheelhouse, and I got them a copy of it. And do you know how hard it is to break a VHS? Well, they broke it from just overwatching it.
There's only so many copies. You can't be doing that.
So then when I found out about the Red Letter Media thing, I watched it, and as I said before, I was in complete amusement of it. And and finally, the one main holdout was the one who was finally had to admit begrudgingly that yes, Rem Lazar was the best of the worst. And I'm thinking, best of the worst, that's kind of like being the tallest man in a midget contest.
Right. Well, I mean, it's better than being the worst of the worst.
That's true. I've got an action figure hero. I mean, what's better than that?
That was going to be my question, if there was any action figures.
Yes, somebody sent me a link to it, and then I was trying to find out who manufactured them, and how can we get those things out there?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to make a phone call to Hasbro and see what
there you go.
See what they say. So Rem Lazar, the video, was it set to be a standoff kids show, or was this hoping to be a pilot of sorts that went to series?
No, I think it was a one-off, and I'm not sure what Scott and Chuck, his brother, who was also one of the co-producers, had in mind for it, aside from what it was. Then I don't think it was much of anything except getting the 10,000 copies that they printed up sold, and they did. We didn't have any permits. So it was kind of guerrilla filmmaking.
I mean, who uses permits?
And it was hot, and it was, in the Catskills, and it was gorgeous. And
so, yeah, with the heat, I assume the costume and wig didn't help with that.
It wasn't a wig, man. That was my real hair.
That is a fun. Maybe it was obvious to some people.
I was a rock and roller, man.
I thought it was a wig.
I was a rock and roller. Yeah.
Dude, you were rocking.
So, Erin Pollitt, the hair and makeup girl, after about 2 or 3 days of spray painting my hair, she was like, why don't you just dye it blue? And I was like, well, because I don't want to. And this seems to be working, and it would be funny at the end of every day, I'd walk back into my apartment with the blue hair.
And then there's
my neighbors,
blue on your pillow and...
Yeah. Well, no, you wash it off immediately, But as soon as, the water would come off, you could see the blue just washing down off of me. It was kind of a sight.
Just all that Rem Lazar just washing off.
Yeah, down the drain, yeah.
Oh, man. So as far as it you said it was a one-off, but what are there plans, or do you have ideas for any kind of reboot sequel? Rem Lazar, maybe you come back with the whole beard and the whole mentor figure, Luke Skywalker stuff. I mean, are there any talks about that?
These are all great ideas, and I think that the initial talks that I'm having with Scott, who now loves what's happening with Rem Lazar, by the way, because of all the positivity that's going on behind it, the interviews that I've done. So Scott and Mark Mulcahy and myself are in talks of re-recording some of the songs.
Oh, cool.
And or remastering them and releasing them And that's as far as we take it. You know, somebody was like touting the fact that it could be a really good Broadway musical as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's all sorts of things. I mean, obviously, I'm too old to play Rem, you know, at 30 years old, you know, being 66 right now. So it's kind of, I don't want to do that. I mean, that would be kind of ridiculous. But, you know.
I mean, you look great. You still have the chisel superhero.
Well, I feel good. My voice is still good. As a matter of fact, my voice in many respects is much better than it was when I was 30. You know, because I have more life experience.
Would you put on the suit again? Would you, if they redid a new suit, would you represent?
Well, you know how like the Batman and Superman costumes change over the years, where they're all plated and they're all cut.
Be more armored.
Yes, it's funny because, you know, you can have the body of a youth, but, you know, your face, you just can't change that. And
I mean, there'd be more CG involved.
Yeah, it was.
You would have a mask.
They tried it with De Niro. They tried it with De Niro and The Irishman, and it just didn't work.
So basically, what you're saying is the new Rem Lazar film will be shot with 3 cameras in infrared and.
Or with a younger actor.
You know, we don't do that anymore. We don't do this casting younger stuff anymore.
I know.
We're using the same actors and the same age till they're 80.
And beyond.
Yeah, and beyond. I mean, yeah, even after we're going to have CGI actors who have since passed. You also played the cop at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the very, very last shot of the shoot. And I had to wash all the blue out of my hair. And then I had to tuck it all up underneath that cop's cap. Which was hilarious because, you know, there were so many bobby pins going on and what have you. And it's one of my favorite scenes in the entire film. And I did want to say, instead of "I think you better leave the doll here, son," I wanted to say, "I think you better leave the dummy here, son." You know?
Oh, okay. That'd be funny.
But I got overruled, so.
Okay, so big question here. This is the big question. Yeah. What does the name Rem Lazar actually mean? Is it a REM sleep thing? Are we talking about lasers?
Well, Scott used REM for rapid eye movement, which is the dream state. And then Lazar was a bastardization of laser. And there was at some point where Scott
bastardization.
Yeah, it is. And he originally had a scene written where Rem spots the quixotic medallion. It's really, really high up, and the only way that he can find it, or the only way he can retrieve it, is with a laser beam. And so that's where he got it. But, you know, that was completely scrapped.
It's literally REM sleep, and we changed the word laser. That's the mystery.
It.
Okay.
So REM laser just doesn't roll off the tongue. REM Lazar does.
And the Lazar, it sounds a bit fancier.
Yeah. It also sounds more powerful. What's your name? Rem Laser. What's your name? Rem Lazar.
Okay, so I'm glad that was a question that the world has been asking.
They needed to know. They
had to know this was important.
I know.
I mean, we're stuck in quarantine with so many questions, but no, forget that stuff. We need to know.
Is it an anagram of something? Is it code for something? Yeah.
So you said this was shot in upstate New York, and you know, we see like a school. Is there a reason why the school's hallways were so barren? Were they not allowed to have stuff up there? Was this during summer vacation?
It was. We shot during the summer, so the school was empty. And actually, that elementary school was the elementary school that Scott went to.
Oh, wow.
And the principal that calls little Zach into his office was actually Scott's principal.
Is that his actual family in the photo?
Yeah.
Why was it aimed towards? It was always aimed towards whoever was sitting in front of him.
I know. It was crazy.
I just want you to know I have a family right here.
Well, that's... That's, you know, these are things for, like, you know, set designers and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, out of my realm.
As far as the lore of Rem Lazar goes, in your humble opinion, how powerful is Rem Lazar? I mean, what are his powers really? Does he have super strength? Could he stand up against any other kind of superhero out there? Is he not even a fighter at all? Like there's so
I
many
don't know.
questions.
I don't know if Rem is confrontational, but I don't think that he is to be tread on. I believe that he's got the power of persuasion. I believe that he can certainly jump and he can dance and he can sing. I mean, those are real superpowers. You know? Ask anybody who can't do those things.
He has the power to move you.
He has the power to move you.
And you know what? We'll just throw in like super strength and lasers in there. He's got to shoot lasers. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, and he's got gold Converse. I mean, come on.
he could probably run pretty fast.
Oh,
and
he can
comfortably.
definitely run. He's an athlete. I mean, you can see it. He's definitely
yeah.
an athlete. Yeah.
How do you feel about everyone? How do you feel about everyone dressing up now? And you know, hey, oh man, that's the new? That's gonna have to be the new costume.
What's happening, man?
Is Rem Lazar immune to any viruses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for hate.
Oh, that's right.
Hate is contagious, right? It is.
So Rem Lazar could be corrupted.
That could be his kryptonite.
I like that. I'm happy to see that, you know, you're in good spirits and you're, you know, reacting to this in such a positive way. And this seems like a really just cool thing that seemed to happen.
I'm so glad that it did. I mean, I really am.
Well, thanks for doing the show despite my subscriber count. I hope you didn't peek at that beforehand. Maybe you would have left by now. But I appreciate you being on this show and talking to me.
Robert, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for bringing this to light, and good luck with everything. And we'll talk soon again.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You're a cool guy.
Man.
All right.
Thanks
for stopping by. Well, that was wonderful. I guess now we can check in on Alex and see how the hand washing situation's going. Alex? Yeah, sorry. I just want to say I think our call got dropped or something like that.
Oh, hey there. I think we had a bad connection. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, Wi-Fi gets pretty awful during a quarantine, so. But thank you so much for the tip, and we'll see you next time. I was going to show you a mask, like how to make a mask really quick. All you need are some pliers, some OxyClean, some OxyContin, and also. Oh no, the Wi-Fi cut out. I hate the internet during a quarantine. Can we get her back on? Oh, we can't? There's no way to reconnect it. Oh, okay. Thanks for helping out on the show. We learned a lot. We'll try to reconnect later, maybe. All right, then help me welcome my musical guest on the show from Zero to Hero.
You know everywhere's blood, everything like blood. The words of that blood crawling through your day. These last words I say to you, let me sink and begin to believe. Who will save me? You're so cold, you're wrapped in a blindfold.
On this channel for the first time, please be sure to, you know, do those two things that you're supposed to do with YouTube, and I just hate saying it, but I don't know, am I not supposed to market this channel at all and it just magically gets seen by people? But either way, I hope you did enjoy yourself. After this quarantine is all over, we do have plans to keep this channel running with some new content. We have some shows in the works. So please stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, wash your hands, don't go out unless you have to, and overall, just keep yourself sane. All right, guys. Good night.